So the WNBA really fumbled the bag on this one, didn't they? They really, really fumbled this because, look, I kind of get it where it's like you don't want to talk about everywhere where someone is, everywhere and everything, and you don't want to basically follow Caitlin Clark around. But, like, this is the one time you maybe make an exception because this is a situation that's so viral that they are still, 2 days later, looking at 8 minutes ago, 11 minutes ago, 1 minute ago, you've got Mad Dog. You've got Mad Dog Russo. You've got Chris Mad Dog Russo talking about how much he hates this whole thing. You've got Mad Dog Skip Bayless talking about how much they hate this whole thing. When you've got those two people on the other side, you know it's going well. When people that couldn't care less are talking about this and suddenly they're bringing up Caitlin Clark as well in this scenario. Like, and then not only that, on the broadcast itself, let's take a listen to the broadcast itself.
To make the Swift and Caitlin Clark, guard for the Indiana Fever. From Des Moines, been a Chiefs fan since she was a kid. The AP Female Athlete of the Year and the first overall pick in the WNBA Draft, Rookie of the Year. And the first rookie to make the first team all WNBA since 2008 when Candace Parker did it. Glad she is in the house this evening on this cold night.
So, what did they do? They literally, on an NFL broadcast, by the way, an NFL broadcast, with the Kansas City Chiefs, they're the most popular team, with probably tens of millions of people watching. The actual broadcast itself decided to talk about who Caitlin Clark was, who she played for, what she did in college, how she was in her WNBA season, and then also talked about how she was, and then also mentioned Candace Parker. Did everything. Did absolutely everything that everyone wants. They talked about They talked about the basketball. They talked about the sport of basketball. They talked about her accomplishments. And also, it was like the way the WNBA people are saying, it's like, oh, but what about these other people? They also were like, you know what? She's done this, but like, you know, it was done before by Candace Parker. Let's mention a player of the past. They did literally everything. The NFL did a better job promoting the WNBA than you have all year. It's like, and the thing is, like, the WNBA have, you can say, like, whatever about kind of their promotion it is. Maybe not on the official WNBA page. Like, obviously, like, look, you might be saying, look, you can't, if the official WNBA page shouldn't be just saying where all their players are. But I do want to think, is there any situation where the WNBA have posted where age is? Because if they haven't, then fair enough. Like, if it's a consistent thing with all the players, it's fine. But, like, the overall WNBA media have done such a poor job of that. Like, have done such a poor job when it comes to promoting anything. Because, sure, look, if you've all seen, like, heck, was it Sarah Spain tweeted out something and was like, oh, need to get those Swifties to the WNBA games. And then they called her every name under the sun and accused her of being racist. But that's the problem is that, like, a lot of the WNBA media have cultivated this fan base where it's like, if you don't hate Caitlin Clark, you're a racist. So the WNBA media, they're like the people that are really close to the WNBA. And the problem is that this is actually one of the biggest stories in women's basketball right now. You've got your most popular player, who is with the most popular sports person in the world. And then the main thing about it is that they are talking about Caitlin Clark, talking about this situation, respecting the sport, and talking about legends. Something that is all around good for the sport. And yeah, crickets. It's just crickets. It's absolutely just crickets. And look, it is what it is. We know it's kind of happened all year. And I do think that it's not just an exclusive thing when I'm talking about just Caitlin Clark. Because if the WNBA just becomes promote Caitlin Clark, then that's not good either. I think the WNBA media needs to be promoting everything. It needs to be promoting everything, but yet the vast majority don't want to focus on Twitter trolls or Twitter people on Twitter. rather than actually promoting the players. I think with all the stuff that Caitlin Clark is doing, it should be promoted. I think with all the stuff Angel Reese is doing should be promoted. I think, heck, if and when Angel Wilson just pops up in public, that should kind of be promoted, because the whole situation is that these WNBA players, we all know 5-6 years ago how if you the only content you would see in the media about the WNBA that would actually be getting traction is dunking on the WNBA. We're now at the stage where these players are celebrities, where these players showing up to these events, whether it be an Angel Reese or a Cameron Brink showing up at like a red carpet event, whether it be Angel Wilson showing up at a Miami Heat a game, whether it be Caitlin Clark being with freaking the biggest star on the planet. These WNBA players are now the trendy sports stars. And if you are the WNBA media, you should be promoting all of it. You should be promoting all of it. And it seems like, obviously, like there seems to be in certain people will be promoting certain people. It's like, I get it. Like, obviously, Clark Report is going to be promoting Caitlin Clark only. Reese Report is going to be promoting Angel Reese. And like, I get that. That's always going to be the case. Trendy Hoop Stars is the most hilarious Caitlin Clark hate page I've ever seen. Like, it's funny, that page at this stage. But like, as soon as Caitlin Clark is seen with Taylor Swift, I think their first post was like, Angel Reese is the angel mover or the needle mover. I'm like, this is actually hilarious. But it's one of those things where it's like, when it comes to the WNBA media, every single time anything good happens with Caitlin Clark, it's like, oh, is this problematic? Or even if you're Sarah Spain, who's not tweeting out something negative, suddenly all of her quote tweets are out there calling her a racist. And I'm like, this is mad. All of this is good for the league. Every bit of this is good for the league. And if you're the WNBA, if I was the WNBA in the off season, I would be going like out of my way to promote all the players. Like, anything you see. Obviously, you've got, like, they're hyping up Kelsey Plum's jersey retirement. But I'd be doing it for everyone. Like, I wouldn't be ignoring the fact Liz Kitley got her jersey retirement retired on the same day. I'd be doing everything I can if I'm the WNBA to promote all the players, because the league does not survive if it's just Caitlin Clark. But also, you don't ignore Caitlin Clark, what she's doing. You don't ignore her. You don't ignore the other players. You promote everybody. But it seems like the WNBA media, it seems like they're trying so hard to not promote Caitlin Clark that they're not promoting anybody either. They're doing a horrible job of promoting the league. I genuinely think they are. They're doing a horrible job. And that is not, again, just promoting Caitlin Clark, because you have to promote everyone for the league to do quite well. But I think they're doing a horrible job of it. And this situation summed it up, because not only do you not see like the WNBA, you don't see a lot of people in the WNBA media talking about this situation, and it should be. Because off the court, these players become celebrities is huge for growing the game on the court as well. NBA players are absolute celebrities. We see in the off-season, if they're at certain things, it's big. Like, I'm a Leeds United fan. When Russell Westbrook showed up to our first game of the season last season, and he was there in the stadium, and it like zoomed in on him, it's like, oh, Russell Westbrook's here. And suddenly, like, it was a kind of a big deal amongst Leeds fans. They're like, oh, Jesus, this basketball player's here. Larry Nance Jr. comes to games. Like, it's kind of a cool thing. And like, the fact that WNBA players are now being seen as the similar like level almost to A-list celebrities, and the WNBA are not taking advantage of that at all, is mind-boggling.